configured our PyCharm. So let's open PyCharm. And before we start programming Python, we need to know some basic norms and regulations in Python. So first of all, let's create a new Python file. So any Python file has an extension with like .py. It's like any video file might have .mp4. Its extension is file type. So a Python file must have an extension with py. So let's create the file. Okay. So the file is created. So let's check for what's its. Let's start. Now, if I run this line of code, we should see. Let's start. Okay. So Python follows some block of codes, like other languages might follow the curly brackets or block of codes. So the code I will write inside the block, it's treated as a block of code. In Python, they follows indentations. So how indentation work? Like if I write new line of code, it will treat this Python will treat this two line code as different block. It will first execute the block 1, then it will execute block 2. So let's run. So let's start. Let's go. But if I somehow indented it like a bit, then it will produce an error. Let's run and see. It will indentation error. So the code will be run like this print statement. Let's go is running under let's start the statement, which is not correct. That's why is producing an error. Let's see another example. We can write if block if 1 is less than 5. So this is an if condition. So if 1 is less than 5, then we will print 5. Gotcha. So here this line of code will execute once this condition is true. Is dependent on this line of code. That's why it's indented. So if I run it, I can see 5 is larger. But if I don't indent this line, so Python will treat these two lines separately, and after reading this line of code, it won't find anything to execute. If 1 greater than 5, then what? Then a separate line of code. If I try to run it, it will produce an error. So indentation is important in Python. So that's the indentations. So far we have worked with the values. Let's try some variables. In Python, there is no type, so you can put any name and assign any value to the variables. It could be any type. It could be number. It could be string or sentence, or it could be floating point number. So we have created 3 variables. Python variables are case sensitive. So this one and this one, these two are different variables. So this is how we declare variables in normal In normal case, we will define our variable as such it makes sense. Like name of the so we can put underscore. So these are the variables. Now we can print any of this variable. So if I print it, we will see. Sorry, it was error. Okay. This is how variable works in Python. Or else we can perform mathematical operation. So 1 plus 3. So we got the result. So we can perform mathematical operation with the variables and we can do all other things. We can even replace the values. So let's try var1. So the value of the var1 is 45. So after executing this line, I can change the value. And again I execute this line, but the result will be different. Let's say initially this it was 45, then the same variable the value is changed. So variable is like a box. You can put anything inside the box, but if you can only keep one variable inside the box. So these are the variables, and the other thing in the programming we often use is called comment. So uh, in a programming world we might work in a team, or you can read your code after like few days, then you can remember why you have written this code. In that case, you will create documentation inside your code. So in Python, they use pound or hash for the comments. So anything after the hash won't be executed. So these two lines won't be executed even if I try print. This line is not executed. So this is how comment variables and indentation works in Python.